Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hill Brothers. Alan and Nathan are back with you once again, discussing some North Carolina basketball as the basketball season is officially just under a month away. It's been a minute since we have done a recording. We've been doing live streams left and right, but we figured it was finally time to get back and do some just plain old recording, some podcasts, and do this the old-fashioned way, the way we started this thing out with. Alan,
Yes.
the Tar Heels sit right now as number 19 in the nation, coming in preseason AP top 25. They are ranked at number 19. And
Yes.
a lot of questions have been asked if this team should even be ranked at all. Is 19 a good spot? Are they ranked too low? Are they ranked way too high? What do you think about this team? Obviously, a year ago, preseason AP top 25, number one. They were ranked number one in the nation. And obviously, they did not live up to that ranking whatsoever. The team seemingly fell flat on its face after a miraculous run the previous year, Hubert Davis's first year as the head coach for the Tar Heels, as they went all the way to the Final Four and, had a 15-point lead in the national championship game against Kansas that they unfortunately lost right there in the final few seconds. Tell me about this team. Do you like the way they've been hyped? They've got a really good schedule. Tell me what you think about their number 19 seed. Do you think it's correct? And where do you think this Tar Heel team is going?
The easy thing to say is I don't know. Been enamored with the football team. I haven't done a lot of basketball research. Just due to the fact that we are fans and not quote unquote beat writers for the university.
All right.
So I haven't really put too much brain power towards UNC basketball as of quite yet. I will say I don't know is a good place to start because you don't know what the UNC Tar Heels are. For basketball, you have Mondo coming back for his 6th year. You have RJ Davis coming back for his 4th year. So, I mean, you have those two, but you don't know what you got in the rest of them. Elliot Cadeau, you don't. He's a freshman. Freshman point guards tend to struggle, but I guess we'll see. I mean, he's an elite passer. We'll see how he does shooting the ball. Jalen Withers, we'll see how he incorporates all the other transfers. We'll see how they incorporate. The number 19 ranking, again, I don't know because, North Carolina was ranked number 1 last season, and obviously that was too high. So they start – I mean, honestly, I think preseason number ones or preseason rankings are what they are. They're preseason rankings. You don't know until you actually lace the sneakers up and throw the ball in the air and you actually see what you got as a team. I mean, outside of like maybe the top 5 to 10, if you're preseason top 10, then you're probably pretty set on what you got. But that whole 11 to 25, it's a crapshoot. You might be good, you might be bad, you might be awesome. So I guess it's just a whole bunch of I don't knows. I don't know.
Well, actually, I think this is actually a little bit quite fitting because it sounds exactly like what we heard from you back in the preseason of the football team. You don't know. We don't really know what's going on. We saw what they did the year before. They were great. Then they fell off. We don't really know what they got. All these transfers, a bunch of people leaving. And now you got all these new faces in. We don't know what they're going to be. And I think personally, they're sitting in the exact same spot that the North Carolina football team found themselves in, ranked top 25, ranked in the 21st in the nation coming into this year. North Carolina also ranked at number 19 coming into this basketball year. I look at it and say, this is a proven ranking. This is enough of a ranking to say, listen, we believe that you could be something, but you've got to prove to us you can be something. You let us down. Now you've got to prove it to us. We believe that the transfers and everything that you've brought in and the hype that's went around, Elliot Cadeau coming in and all the transfers from Cormac Ryan to Paxton Wojcik to Jalen Withers, the emergence of Jalen Washington coming back, all these different teams, Harrison Ingram coming over as well. I think this is a great prove 'em ranking for him. I personally like the number 19 spot. I think it's dead on because I do believe this team should be respected early. I don't think we're going to see what we saw last year, considering that outside of the top, your starting five, who did you really have coming off of that bench? This year, I see depth. I see a reason for Hubert Davis to go to the bench. A lot of these guys are seniored. These guys know what they're doing. Jalen Withers, he's played a lot of good ball over there at Louisville. Cormac Ryan has played a lot of college basketball. As a matter of fact, I think it's going to be interesting when he suits up for North Carolina. It'll be the third team that he suited up for and played inside of Chapel Hill. I think that's pretty cool inside of the Dean Dome. I think that's pretty sweet, for him. Paxton Wojcik, a guy who grew up around North Carolina because his dad was a part of assistant coach on the coaching staff back before Roy Williams was here. This is not a spotlight that these guys are not used to. Harrison Ingram, big time recruit a couple of years ago, ended up going to Stanford, has played very well for them, big time. Elliot Cadeau, we've all saw the beautiful, beautiful passes that he puts out on film against so many different people. Supposed to come, next year, but decided to reclassify and come this year. The arrival and, picking up of James Okonkwo out of West Virginia as a backup center to Armando Bacot. I look at this team and I like the team personally. I think they've got grit, they've got tenacity, they got guys that you can see at their other locations where they've played basketball, really seem to have that chip and that dog on them, that dog-like mentality that I'm going to go get it and I'm going to do whatever I can to score as many as I can on you, and I'm gonna beat you down the court. I'm gonna out hustle you. I'm gonna defend the crap out of you. I'm gonna crash the glass, and I'm gonna go score a bucket on you. And I think, this team's really brought a lot of shooting in. I like this number 19 thing. And quite frankly, their first couple of games, I think their first four, you got Radford, Lehigh, UC Riverside, Northern Iowa in the battle for Atlantis. And then after that, that's when you start, play time. It's Tennessee. Then you go on. That's in the ACC, the new ACC SEC Challenge. Then you move into the month of December, Florida State on the day of the ACC championship, would quite frankly. I mean, you could have a twofer there. Then you got the reigning champs, UConn. You got them. You've got Kentucky, Oklahoma. I mean, these are going to be some games. So by the end of December, mid to late December, I believe that we're going to know a lot about this Tar Heels team. That we, a lot of the questions will be answered then, because they're going to get tested relatively early in their season. And, they are one of three teams in the ACC that are ranked: Duke at 2, Miami at 13. That Duke and North Carolina matchup could be very interesting come January and or February and March. But personally, I like it. I think it's a good spot for them. What do you think?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, rank them. Sure, why not? Rank them. I mean, you got two returning proven starters. The phenom that apparently is Elliot Cadeau. Some hopefully high caliber transfers. Sure, rank them in the bottom 25, and see what they got. Rankings don't really matter. It doesn't really matter if you're ranked. You can still make the NCAA tournament if you're not ranked. But North Carolina is going to have to win big games early, because the ACC, again, that bottom half of the ACC is, bottom of the barrel. You hear all these quad 1 wins, quad 2 wins, quad 3, blah, blah, blah. Well, North Carolina doesn't have a lot of opportunities for quad 1 wins outside of the Dukes and the Kentuckys, the Tennessees, the Connecticut's. Miami, maybe, depending, how they're ranked when they play them. So you gotta win the games early, because once you get an ACC play, them the bottom tier, they're going to be ranked in the hundreds in the Ken Palm, and those are quad 2, quad 3 wins, or
Yeah.
heaven forbid it's a quad 2 or quad 3 loss, and then that really hurts your tournament resume and whether or not you're even going to make it, into the tournament. So I mean, I thought I seen somewhere, read something, heard something. Somebody predicted UNC to be 21-8 for the season, but in that 21-8, it didn't have a breakdown of what the wins was, what the losses were. But that 21-8 puts them right close to right back to the situation they were 2 seasons ago. Are they going to be in, or are they going to be out? Just based on the strength or the lack thereof schedule in the ACC.
Yeah, and you don't know what's really going to happen with Syracuse. Obviously, Jim Boeheim is no longer there. Louisville, we don't know if they're going to be as bad as they were last year. You would think that maybe they would find something to tick up. Florida State, they did lose Matthew Cleveland to Miami. That's a big loss for them. NC State, are they going to have the miraculous run that they had last year? Boston College, there's not much going on there. Wake Forest, Wake Forest embarrassed them last year. That's a game that you got to go get. And I'm pretty sure they still have that point guard there that they had last year, that Allenby kid, if I remember correctly. Notre Dame, you don't know what they're going to be, especially, no longer having Cormac Ryan, a key pivotal piece for that team. If you remember back in that the game that North Carolina played there in Notre Dame, Cormac Ryan was having his way with them. And he was going like crazy until he got hurt there late in the game and was forced to leave that game. But, I think this North Carolina team is going to be quite a breath of fresh air compared to last year's team. There's a bad taste in North Carolina fans' mouths from, North Carolina basketball from, this past season. And they've got to find something to wash it out with. And I think that Hubert Davis and that coaching staff has done a brilliant job of bringing in new people, getting the transfers in that they needed to, kind of doing what Mac did. You had to get rid of some guys that you could afford to lose that were big time guys for you to maybe get better. And I think that's what they have done here. They have gotten, I personally believe, much better. Their starting five is going to be awesome. Their bench, I think, is going to be quite improved. I still believe this team. Right. And this right here is going to give Hubert Davis a chance to use it. I think that's really why he wanted to make the moves that he did. And he was okay losing a guy like Puff Johnson, a guy like DeMarco Dunn, a guy like even Caleb Love, losing them. You needed to lose some guys. There was some guys you needed to lose there. You needed to get some guys that had some proven playing time, and have now come out, and I think they'll be really big for you guys. And I think the biggest addition out of all of them, to me, is honestly James Okonkwo. And I think the reason that is because Armando Bacot don't have to go play all these minutes. He can come out. He can have a guy that's played solid basketball for a solid team in West Virginia come in and play. And Big Ten basketball, by the way, they're not slobs over there. Purdue's in that. Purdue is really good over there. We saw that with that Zach Edey kid, which I believe he's still there as well, as a matter of fact, playing Ohio States of the world and things of that nature. I think it's big for that. It's big to have that. You needed a small forward and a Harrison Ingram, a guy that can go out there and shoot. And that kind of adds to another point is North Carolina has really added shooting all the way around in their team. We didn't get to see Jalen Washington kind of step out, but Jalen Washington is a guy that can potentially stretch the floor a little bit for you. We haven't got to see him shoot the three ball. You don't expect him to go out there and shoot a ton, but he is a guy that could potentially, stretch the floor for you. Elliot Cadeau is seemingly. I think this year, personally, if I had to make a prediction, I think that the connection between Elliot Cadeau and Armando and Cadeau and Jalen Withers is going to be something to keep an eye on, because Jalen Withers, they need a guy that's bouncy. Withers is bouncy, dude. He's bouncy. Not only that, but he's been able to show that he can shoot the 3 ball from distance at a pretty impressive clip. I like the addition of Cormac Ryan, a guy that can shoot the ball, but also a guy that keeps energy up on the team. It keeps them excited, keeps them going. I mean, you watch him when he's playing with Notre Dame. Go watch some of his film and go watch some of the moments when he goes back to the bench and he's talking with the team. Watch how he amps those guys up. Paxton Wojcik was playing at Brown. Brown came into Chapel Hill a couple of years ago, and Paxton Wojcik just had a breakout game. North Carolina ended up winning that game. This is the year that they believe it was actually 2 years ago with Brady Manick there. Brown came in, and Wojcik just had a game. He loves North Carolina. He loves being back home. He's another one of those high-intensity energy guys. Last year, outside of Puff Johnson at times, can you really say that we had that?
No,
I don't. So, personally, I like the number 19 ranking.
Not unless things are going well. Then everybody was uppity and skippity.
Right. And you know, a guy like Jalen Withers is coming from Louisville. We know what Louisville was last year. The dumpster fire. Absolutely dumpster fire. Notre Dame wasn't hitting on too much. Cormac Ryan, they weren't hitting on too much. Stanford, they wasn't really hitting on too much either. Harrison Ingram, these guys are excited. These guys kept the team, tried to keep them together. They're high energy guys. You bring all of them together on one. We already know what Armando Bacot is. We understand what RJ Davis is. We know that. Elliot Cadeau's here, and he's here to prove a statement. I like that. I like the energy around this team. I like the addition of Marcus Page back on that coaching staff and that assistant staff. I think that's absolutely brilliant of Hubert Davis to do, is bring that kid back. Amazing. No, that gives the kid a job. You know, I'm glad to see him back on the sidelines, and I think that's going to be a big addition. I think it's going to be a good year, man. I honestly do. I have high hopes. Quite frankly, I have just as much confidence as I did in this year's football team coming into the season as I do this basketball team. I do. I have the exact same amount. And people call me crazy for getting on the football bandwagon. We're 6-0 right now. I'll take it. I'll take it right now. It's good. 6-0 and looking good. Not 6-0 and holy crap, we're barely scratching, we're barely scraping through. No, 6-0 and decisive. I like that. Give me this basketball team. I know they've got the hidden scrimmage and everything Friday. That's going to be what's today's date? The 18th. So what, that'll be like the 20th, 21st. Don't they have something 20th, on the 21st as well?
Not sure.
I think they had like a secret practice and an exhibition or something like that.
Oh, there's the secret scrimmage nobody's invited to. That's why it's secret.
Yeah. And
media's not allowed.
They're playing FAU there, right? Or scrimmaging against FAU.
Yeah, from what I've gathered, it's FAU.
Yeah, and FAU, a team that just come out of the Final Four, a team that's also ranked, as a matter of fact, and they're ranked at the number 10 spot. That's pretty good. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Scrimmage those guys, see what they're like, see what you're like, see what you do against them in that scrimmage. Take that and say, all right, let's roll with it. I'm looking forward to it, man. I think it's going to be a fun season.
I always enjoy basketball season. It's just basketball's not football this year. The top 3 or 4 in basketball are dominant. There's really basketball, football is lacking dominance right now. Georgia, but Georgia doesn't look like the world beaters they were 2 years ago. Ohio State has its problems. Michigan honestly might be the best team in the country, and they're plowed in at they're stuck behind Georgia at number 2 just for the simple fact that Georgia keeps winning.
Yeah.
but no, there won't be a lack of dominance in college basketball. Kansas, Duke, Michigan State,
Purdue.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. Well, Purdue is another. And you just have to wait and see. Purdue.
Yeah, they let me down last year. They let me down.
Purdue. Purdue is that trains went off the rail a couple seasons in a row.
Yeah.
But no, those three teams, one, two, three, would not surprise me if they were all 3 1 seeds, and then who knows what the fourth one, number 1 seed would be. But no, those 3 teams right there, though, I don't see them losing more than a handful of games this season, just out of sheer dominance.
Tell us what you think down there in the comments. Let us know what you like. See if you like the Tar Heels. Do you like them being ranked at 19th? Again, do you think that they were ranked way too high? Should they have been ranked at all? Do you have faith in this year's team? Are you looking forward to the basketball team this year? Let us know down in the comments. Let us know. Thank you all for watching. Alan, appreciate you as always. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Be sure and go to X and follow us at Heel Brothers. We try to post on there as much as possible. Be sure, hop on there, follow us, and shout us out when you get there. We'll comment back at you. I promise you that. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here, and go Heels.
Go Heels.
You don't want love.